What's up, guys? This is Doug with Basement Level Magic, and we have just opened a new pack for a Oath of the Gatewatch Battle for Zendikar Swiss draft. I have done quite a bit of research, I should say, I guess. Since my last draft, I have been doing a lot of watching other people draft, so hopefully I'm getting my stuff together. There's a couple cards here I like. Endbringer's a good card. I think you can play colorless in almost any archetype. Other than that, Isolation Zone is great. The Storm Chaser Mage I think is good if you're already in blue-red, but I don't think I'd first pick it. Immolating Glare has turned out to be pretty darn good. It's an excellent removal card. I think we just take the Endbringer. I think it's probably the bombiest of cards here. I've been playing like almost exclusively colorless since I started this format, so maybe we'll change that tonight. We'll see. Here we have another Isolation Zone. Shoulder's good. Seed Guardian is good. I like Seed Guardian kind of a lot, actually. Goes good in a black-green shell. Other than that, I think probably the best card here is the Isolation Zone. It's a little awkward because we just passed one, so we probably put someone into white, and they're probably going to take the Shoulder to Shoulder, which is the second card I'd like. I could take the Hedron Crawler. I think it's pretty good. I like the Seed Guardian a lot. It's a tough pack. Isolation Zone being at common, you see a lot more than you'd think you would. Because of how good the card is. I mean, it's just premium removal in every sense of the word. I'm going to take... This is a tough pickup. I'm going to take the best card in the pack, and we'll see where we end up. Kozilek? So it's definitely a build around. It's a foil Kozilek. I feel like I need to figure out what that's worth. Pardon me for just 1 second. So Kozilek's only worth like 2 tickets, even in foil. So Expedition Raptor's quite good. Onto War Cleric's quite good. I think I'm gonna go all in and take the Kozilek. We'll see what happens here. I could definitely see this deck being like pretty much terrible by the end of this, but we'll see. So I think also playing like a very intensive colorless card like the Kozilek, I think probably we're not gonna end up in white. I just think it's a poor combination with colorless. I think blue makes a much better combination. Blinding Drone's probably the best card here, so we'll go ahead and take that. Second Blinding Drone seems good. I'm looking for any kind of ramp at this point as well. Holdout Settlement also would not be the worst, as we're going to need like a lot of colorless sources in order to get our cards online as quickly as possible. I think because I've got a Kozilek that I actually want to play, I kind of want to take the Holdout Settlement. I'm not going to. I'm going to take the Blinding Drone. I just think it's probably a better card. But we're definitely going to have to keep in mind, you know, the colorless sources as we're picking up. Slip Through Space is pretty much just a way to enable Surge. Best card in this pack, probably, I think, the Relentless Hunter. Grip of the Royal's good. I don't know if we're going to be playing black-red, so I don't think taking a Cinder Barons here is any good. I could see taking the Wastes, but I think we'll just take the Grip of the Royal. Unity of Purpose seems quite good. I think, though, we need some ramp. Also, Containment Membrane seems good, but I think in the deck that we've sort of started building, ramp is going to be our ultimate goal here. Ruin in Their Wake, also interesting in a deck that's looking to ramp. Abstruse Interference, also a ramp card. I don't know what we're doing here. Abstruse Interference is not a card I normally would take, but I think in this Kozilek endgame strategy that we do want to take it. I cannot believe that the Shoulder to Shoulder that we passed early wheeled. I think that's wrong for whoever took that card. I could see taking it because we still don't know what our second color is, and we could end up in white blue, although I think it's a pretty bad combo. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I don't know where we're gonna end up with this. I don't think we're gonna end up in red because I think it's a little too aggressive and we're trying to play a long game here. So I think blue's our best combo. Black's probably second. Green maybe tied for second in that there's some ramp available, or at least guaranteeing that you get your land drops, even if it's not necessarily a ramp. So we'll go ahead and take that. The harness doesn't interest me. I guess if we do end up in green-blue, Void Grafter is a pretty good card. And I don't think we're going to be an Unnatural Endurance deck. I don't think we're going to play enough creatures, to be honest. Here, I guess we'll take a Corpse Churn for the sideboard. So a lot of these white-green cards that we've been seeing are cards for the white-green aggressive like support deck. I guess we'll take the fixing just in case it becomes relevant later, as we really have no idea what we're doing so far. But we'll see. Call the Gatewatch, not something we want. Essence Depleter is quite good. If we want to take a blue-black land, that would be probably reasonable. I think Warden of Geometries is probably the thing that fits our deck the best. Although I think Essence Depleter is a better card. I think we want the Warden. It's interesting that there's now true colorless or colored colorless, I guess, and then there's Warden of Geometries, which is colorless but not colorless colorless. I don't know how exactly to explain all that. Hedron Crawler is probably the card we want here. Fall of the Titans is amazing. It's a great card. Press into Service is pretty good. Kozilek's Translator is an option. I mean, Oblivion Strike's probably the best card. We have 0 black so far. I think the Hedron Crawler is probably where we want to be, and we'd even look for another one of those if we could get it. Here, I think we want the Lantern. Remorseless Punishment is not a card I've been interested in, really. It seems a little too conditional, with a little too many options for what your opponent can do with it when you actually play it. I think the Seer's Lantern's where we want to be. So do I want a second Seer's Lantern? Do I want to take a Unity of Purpose? I think we're not playing white at this point. So we can start looking for some more green. I think also we want to play the Seer's Lantern. And then I think here, although Flare Drone is pretty interesting of a card, it's an aggressive card that I don't think fits what we're building here, which is hopefully going to be some sort of like more controlling shell. Dread Defiler. Oh, that's pretty good if you can manage to get Kozilek into your graveyard. So we got Loam Larva here. We can pick up a counterspell, a Void Shatter, or we can pick up Thought Harvester. I guess we probably want the Thought Harvester just for anything we might pick up in the last pack that requires ingestion. Wholesome Marasa can definitely get you there if you're a slow, grindy deck and you just want to make sure you don't get aggroed out. I could take the Eternal Uprising, which I think is probably pretty good. I think it's probably a combat trick you play after your opponent attacks. I think probably the best card here for us is going to be the Wastes, sadly. Here I think it's between like a Sky Scour and a Holdout Settlement, and I think the Holdout Settlement's a better card for the deck. Here's our first pack again. I mean, we could definitely take another Wastes. I think Birthing Hulk is excellent though. Yeah, I think we want the Birthing Hulk. We're already trying to ramp, and the Birthing Hulk ramps us even further towards our Kozilek, so I think that's probably what we want. And I think we're probably in green now at this point. I'll definitely be playing the Wastes. I don't know about the Baloth Pup. I don't think that we're going to have a lot of ways to support, so I don't know that that's what we want. I'll take the Harvester Troll. I think it's a pretty good card in that it can be super efficient and late game it still has some relevance. And needing to find a way to get through like all the 2/3s in this format, you know, having the ability to like get rid of a land if you're flooded or whatever, I think is a very good option. I'm gonna take. I don't think I want to play 2 Abstruse Interference. Chances are, if you don't play it in your first 3 or 4 turns, your opponent's not going to be completely tapped out, and really all this says is pay 3 mana and get a Scion. So there is a support card here, which we could take. I think it's a sideboard card for us at best. Same with the Bone Saw, although we may play a Comparative Analysis. So third pack, we're looking for a little bit more colorless mana. You know, either lands, or I would definitely play like a, what is it, Kozilek's Channeler. This is a nice pack in that we don't have to be too worried about things we're passing up. The Goldraw's Overseer is not very good. Deathless Behemoth could be good in our deck. I think it might wheel. I think we want the Tidecaller most likely. Although the Lifespring Druid is ramp. I think there's a good chance the Lifespring Druid is still here. I think we take the Tidecaller. I don't know that we're going to play it because so far it doesn't look like we're going to have a ton of land creatures, but it's possible. Here we can take an Unnatural Aggression as like a combat trick. I don't think Scythe Leopard's really what we're looking for. Mist Intruder would be okay. Grave Birthing, you know, wrong color, but kind of up our alley. I'm going to take the combat trick. Brood Butcher is an interesting thought for something to splash. Well, we might be giving up a Tajuru Warcaller, which we are not super, pardon me, we're not super green intensive as it is. Although we do make a lot of Scions, we don't have really any other allies that would ever, you know, activate this a second time. If we get the Spawning Bed back, I'd be thrilled, but I don't anticipate that happening. Here I've gone Mafada. We're definitely not in the deck for that. Probably we want the Eyeless Watcher here. If the Fertile Thicket comes back, I would be happy to take it. Void Attendant, also a ramp. Seek the Wilds could also be a pretty good one for us. I think we'll take the Void Attendant. So Lifespring Druid, just what we were looking for. I don't know that we play the Retreat, but we might, so we'll go ahead and grab that. second Void Attendant versus a natural connection. Probably just want the natural connection. I can see the case for Void Attendant, but we don't have a ton of ways to exile things. Second Lifespring Druid, sure. I'm going to have to put this deck together and make it into something. I do like where the curve is at. I wish we had gotten another Hedron Crawler, however. Blue-green is not a deck that I have drafted before. I think black-green probably would have been a better place to end up, but why not? We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, we'll take the Grove Tender Druids. I guess a Reclaiming Vines for the sideboard isn't the worst thing. Yeah, we'll definitely play a Fertile Thicket. So it looks like we're just going to end up taking out a couple of things that don't, you know, fit the deck. I think the Jedi Offshoot actually might fit the deck. Looks like green-white actually was open if we'd ended up there. I do not know how many Seer's Lanterns you can play. I don't know. And without me fixing, I don't know. The Brood Butcher is definitely a very interesting option. But if we're not playing black primary, I'm not sure how often we'd be able to activate the -2/-2 ability. It does ramp us a little bit, which is kind of nice. So we got a few cuts to make. This is definitely an 18 land deck. We want both Blinding Drones. They definitely buy us time. We want the Jedi Offshoot for the same reason. I don't know about the Abstruse Interference. I could see not playing that. I think Grip we want. I think Containment Memory we definitely want. Both Lifespring Druids. I could see not playing Natural Connection. I don't know how good this card really is. The fact that it's a 2/4 flash creature is good. The ability seems interesting. It is pretty cheap. I think probably it's worthwhile. 2 Seer's Lanterns. So let's just put these in a pile right here. Warden we definitely want. Harvester Troll might not fit. The fact that you can sacrifice a Scion too to get a 4/5 is pretty cool. Eyeless Watcher I like. Thought Harvester I like. Comparative Analysis I definitely like. And we have some good ways to actually get Surge. The Brood Butcher I don't know. We're not going to play the Canopy Gorger. I think the Brood Butcher's not going to make the deck. And I'm tempted to play like a Natural Connection over a Seer's Lantern, except that it's repeatable colorless mana. Abstruse Interference I have no problem not playing. So just one cut. We ended up with actually more creatures than I thought we would too. So our ways to exile things include like what, nothing? Okay, so Unnatural Aggression. And then none of these Zendikar cards have ingest. So Thought Harvester is our other way. Yeah, I think that's enough. Thought Harvester having the potential in an almost completely devoid deck of repeatedly putting things in the exile zone is pretty good. I'm very tempted to cut a Seer's Lantern. I think one is just enough. I'm also tempted to cut the Jedi Offshoot and then just sideboard it in when we need to slow the game down. And I kind of want to play the Brood Butcher. I want to play the Holdout Settlement. I want to play a Wastes. I want to play a Fertile Thicket. So if we sort by color, I would really like to be able to activate the Brood Butcher more than once a turn, and we do have 2 Lifespring Druids. So I guess it's not so bad. So let's go ahead and add some basic lands. It's recommending 7/7/1. I think I want to go 6/6/3. If I'm gonna play the Brood Butcher, I want to guarantee that I can activate it, and I want to be able to activate it multiple times. And I don't think it hurts our mana base that much. We're not playing any double-costed spells, except for Kozilek, which we have a bunch of ways to add colorless. So I think we're good with that. I'm going to submit that, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been Doug with Basement Level Magic.